So this is a case study of a shop that we helped go from $50,000 a month to $90,000 a month in tint, PPF, and ceramic coatings. And as you can see before, this is tint with 50,000 and then 90,000 over there. So how do we do it? First of all, we ran highly targeted ads for window tint, ceramic coatings, and PPF. Because if you're a shop of that size, what we found is you need a good amount of coatings and PPF to get up to that 100K a month, because it's going to make your life way, way easier than doing a lot of tint jobs. So that PPF and coating services, those services, they help fill up the gaps and get up real quick. And the ad spend was a 30-70 split between tint and PPF slash coating. So like 30 to 35% of the budget was going to tint, and then the rest, about 60 to 65, was going to PPF and coatings together. And because the PPF and coatings are two services, that's why we have that sort of split going to two, and they require a little bit more ad spend compared to tint. With the ads though, we targeted the highest quality keywords that the people looking for these services were searching. So the reason is that we don't want just any and every lead that comes into our funnel. We want people that can pay our prices, and this starts by targeting the highest quality keywords and excluding keywords where people are searching cheap tint, $99 tint, whatever those sort of keywords Google has. These are very common. We have to exclude them. That's very, very important. And then we did this, by the way. Obviously, the first thing was ads, as I just mentioned. The second thing was a sales process, because at the end of the day, we needed leads that actually booked. So we had to get customers and leads who were willing to pay his prices. And as you can see, his prices, he wasn't the cheapest shop in town, like full sedan, $650, large SUV, $1,250, PPF front end, $2,300. As you can see, like these were pretty decent prices. So what did we do? We created a separate page for each service. We didn't run ads to his website. This is super important. We created a separate page for each service, one for tint, one for PPF, one for coating. And obviously we had to film and edit high quality videos to position his shop as different and obviously compared to the rest, because when you get people that, or when you want to get people that are willing to pay your prices, you have to position yourself as different. And a big part is like the cars you use in the videos, how your shop looks presentation wise. You don't need to have a really nice looking shop, but at this, to get to this level, that presentation is very, very important. So on that page, we had a video, as you can see, like this is an example of video. This is just a screenshot. We pre-qualified the leads by having these videos. So this is just an example of that video. We show the difference in the ceramic versus this high quality tint versus low quality tint. We show that the low quality tint actually bubbles and peels. And what happened was, when a lead submitted this form, what we do is, after they submit this form, they go on a thank you page. And on that thank you page, now they've already submitted a form. So we're going to call them as soon as we can. But we have like a 1-2 minute video on that page that says, hey, watch this before you reach out. It's going to help you just understand how to make a best decision about tint. And over there on that page, we also educate them on like, hey, if you go with a $200 option, it might fade, might bubble, might turn purple, whatever it is. Replacing it will cost you now $250. And now getting new tint will cost you $400, so you're paying XYZ more versus that. So that was another thing that we did by pre-qualifying and getting higher intent and educated leads. And the last thing was pricing. We added prices on his pages because pricing really helps increase lead intent, because they see a starting price before reaching out. So this is an example of us adding it on one of his pages. We also added it on his ads. Now with this, we had a started pricing, and if you notice, like, yes, people will come in for this pricing, but they would get tint packages up to like $1,200, right? So this is just starting prices. Like his average ticket was probably maybe $500 or $600 based on these numbers. So starting price is very, very important. And then as a result of all of these things, this got us high intent, window tint, PPF, and ceramic coating leads. And almost all of the PPF leads and most of the ceramic coating leads were brand new vehicles. Now, you can't specifically target new vehicle owners in Google or even Facebook, but we target those using the right keyword strategy for Google and the right ad strategy, the right messaging for Facebook. And this really helps us increase the close rate, because like you guys probably know, like if it's a new vehicle, you're going to end up closing way more, right? If it's an older vehicle, it's way likely to get the service, especially if it's something like PPF and ceramic coating. And that's the same with tint, but mostly PPF and coatings. And from there, the sales process took over, which was very, very important. So every lead that submits a form, we make sure to call them as soon as they submit the form. So within 60 seconds, the lead should say, hey, this was so fast, or like, hey, that was quick. You have to get the leads to say that. If they are, then you know that you're doing a good job. If you're not getting that at least once a day, you know that you're not calling your leads fast enough, because that's when it's fresh on their mind. And this is proven by data, by the way. Harvard has done a study, MIT has done a study, I think one of those two have done studies, that the faster you contact the leads, the highest chance you have of closing them, and the less you have to contact them, because they're more likely to buy that first time. Obviously, this goes without saying, but a lot of people, like, they don't really answer their phone. If you're running targeted ads and you're getting the right people calling you, you cannot miss your calls. Like, I don't need to say this, but there's a lot of shops, you'll be surprised, that actually pay for ads but end up missing a lot of calls, phone calls that they get. And then we used our sales scripts. We handled objections and concerns of people, because they will still have objections and concerns, and we have to handle them by educating them using our sales script. Now, we don't want just any sort of education. It matters how you say it. You have to use questions rather than statements. But after doing this, we book them in with a paying deposit. And again, this also goes without saying, but at this level, or any level, so even if you're at the 20, 30K a month, even if you're at 10 to 15K a month, you have to protect your schedule with a deposit. A job booked without a deposit is not an actual job. A lot of people say this, and I agree. They can just not show up, and then you're stuck with an empty calendar, and you've just basically wasted money. So you have to be taking deposits. And if the leads don't, by the way, say deposits, like we have stuff for, like, hey, what to say when they don't want to pay a deposit. But then if they don't book, the lead is not gone, the lead is not dead. We follow up with them till they book, or they maybe get it done with someone else, or they say, hey, they're not looking for the service. So we keep following up till one of those three cases happen. Because just because they don't book on the first call doesn't mean they will not book. Don't make this lose money. Like we have another client of ours messaged me yesterday that he booked a PPF job for, I think, $6,500 on the fourth follow-up that he did. Most people don't even follow up more than 2 times. So this very, very valuable lesson. Money's in the follow-ups. But then to fuel this proven system even more, put even more fire to the system, we ask everyone for Google reviews, we ask everyone for referrals, have to be asking everyone for referrals. It's as simple as, hey, you know anyone else looking to tint their windows? And by the way, we have a system, our automated CRM system did this automatically, so you don't have to. But that was a quick case study on how we helped this shop go from $50,000 a month to $90,000 a month.